Good morning, everybody. My name is Mackenzie. Thank you. Like everybody in this room, everybody has a best friend, someone that they can share pretty much anything with, someone that they laugh with when they're laughing, cry with when they're crying, and a lot of you have siblings even, somebody that you, even though you love them always, sometimes you just want to kill them. But my best friend is a little bit different because it is my sibling. My best friend is my brother, Trevor. And we haven't always been best friends. Most of you guys will understand with siblings or even like childhood fights on the playground. We fought all the time, which is what I'm going to talk to you a little bit about today, how Trevor and I, even though we didn't always get along, we grew older and we got to be really close. And even though I made a decision that really, it disappointed him a lot and it really hurt his feelings, and he moved away to a different state, we still maintained our friendship and we're still closer and better friends than ever. So hopefully after my speech you guys will maybe have just a little bit different opinion on friendship, on brother-sisterhood, something along those lines. So Trevor and I, as children, from the moment we woke up to the moment we went to bed, we were fighting constantly. And there's two particular stories that live on in like infamy in our family. And the first one, Trevor, I'm the younger one. So those of you that are younger understand that we're always innocent, like people are always just picking on us and it's really rude. But so I was just being cute and sweet in myself, and Trevor had just instigated and had been so mean all day long. And I was across the room from him, and I was drinking a glass of water, and the kind with like the big thick glass bottom, and he said something and I just threw it at him as hard as I could at his head, hoping like a normal person he would duck, but he didn't duck, and a trip to the ER, and 13 stitches later, I was not a very popular person in our house. So the day after he got his stitches out, we were playing darts, and why my mother thought it was a good idea to have like pointy objects anywhere in the house after the cup incident, I'm not really sure, but we were playing darts and I had taken my turn. So I went up to collect my darts, and Trevor accidentally took his turn while I was up there and put a dart right through my hand. He was such a bad older brother at the time that instead of like coming over and pretending like he was sorry and helping me get the dart out, we just argued about who had to remove the dart from my hand. But I think eventually I did it, and it was a horrible experience, and I still don't really like darts. But somehow we lived to high school. I'm not sure exactly how. And so he was going into high school. I was going into junior high because I'm 2 years younger than him. And we live in a rural city, and my parents weren't going to send us to public schools because Arizona's public schools are kind of in shambles right now. So the closest private Christian school to our house was an hour away one direction if there was no traffic. So for 4 whole years, Trevor and I spent at least 2 hours in the car together for 5 days a week. So all we had to do was talk and to chat and just get to know each other. And it could have been a lot worse. Trevor's a really funny guy. Like everybody, if he's in the room, everybody wants to be around him. Like people like to sit by him. If he's laughing, they're laughing. He's a good guy. And he happens to be kind of good looking. So all my girlfriends wanted to date him. He was great with my niece, and that always got him bonus points. And for the most part, he did, for a lack of a better word, date most of my somewhat attractive friends, especially through college. But that's normal. Don't worry about that. So he's just funny. So we got to be really good friends, and he graduated before me and just kind of doodled around at a community college for a while. And then after I graduated, I had this big, grand plan that we needed to move to Texas, go to Texas Christian University, and just have shenanigans and have this great brother-sister adventure, and everything was going to be great. So he was like, yeah, sure, I'll go. So I filled out our applications, I wrote both of our entrance essays, and I got us in. Like, we both got accepted to TCU. So we were both excited. We went to Fort Worth, which is where it's located. We picked out a house, and we were all set to go. Like, we were signed up for classes, but I decided that I should also have a safety school. So I also applied to ASU and got in, obviously, and signed up for classes as well. So right about when tuition was due, like the final payment, I was like, oh yeah, I'm not moving to Texas, by the way. And he was so devastated and so hurt feelings, and it was the scariest thing I ever had to tell him. And he left mad at me, and I was so scared because he was states away, and I was never going to see him again, and he was going to hate me for forever. But even though it took him probably a whole week to like get over the whole thing, but we still, I mean, we talked every day, we texted every day, we still like got to experience a lot of the same things, because after a couple of months I would go and visit him every month. So even though we were still at 2 different colleges, we still experienced a lot of the same things just from how we talked and shared everything. And even the distance brought us closer together. And so as a recap, Trevor and I, we always argued whenever we were younger. We always fought. But driving to school every day and spending so much time together brought us closer as friends and as siblings. And then even though I made a decision that really hurt him and really kind of put adrift in us for a little bit, it still made us stronger. So hopefully you guys will have a little bit different understanding about how brother, sisterhood, siblinghood, and even friendship. If you have any questions, I'd be happy to answer them.